Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Fanning, and this is my Thursday warm up. And today I was listening to a great podcast by Jay Shetty, and he talked about some things in there about creating peace. And he has a list of some of the peaceful places in the world or countries. And unfortunately, the United States doesn't rank very high. And a couple things he said in there is that, we all want to seek peace, but the problem is that, peace starts from within. If you look at hatred, if you look at conflict, right, it comes from within human beings. And one thing that I know that he always says is that remember that happy, balanced, peaceful people don't hate, right? And so the question is, what are things that maybe you can do better for yourself that can create balance and create peace in your world on a regular basis, so that when you show up in the world, you're not creating conflict, you're not creating disruption, right? And hatred and anger, but you're creating peace. So he gave some things. So I'm just going to list them out, okay? The first one is don't obsess, right? When we obsess about things, it creates a mindset of scarcity and a mindset of fear. And when you're in scarcity and fear, you can't experience peace. It just doesn't happen. So what might you be obsessing over as of today or this week or this month, right? The next one is align what you say, think, and do. Are those in alignment, right? When you think something, are you saying what's in alignment with what you think? And when you do something, are you doing something that's in alignment with what you said and what you think? Because if you're out of alignment, that creates internal disruption. There's not peace there. Number three, have a peaceful routine. Do you have a routine in the morning that puts your mind at ease, to put you in a state of what we call being proactive, having intention for your day, so that your brain can relax and be peaceful? Or is your brain in a reactionary state where you're just looking around, making sure that you're going to be okay, right? So do you have a peaceful morning routine? The next one is be impeccable with your word, right? Keep your word. When you say you're going to do something, do it, right? Because what that does is that builds trust. And when you live in a world of trust, it creates greater internal peace. Five is spend more time in nature. If you get out in nature, it's amazing just being out there, listening to the wind, feeling the sun, hearing the birds. It's just really, really good for us. It grounds us. It gives us that ability to have peace. The next one, stop assuming anything about anybody and become a better listener and try to learn more, and don't judge, right? Because when you assume and you judge, it creates internal disruption because we're trying to cast maybe our opinion on somebody else, as opposed to just saying, hey, you know what? I'm here to absorb and to learn. The next one is do more things that don't feel great, but are good for you, right? And what he talks about is the difference between seeking peace and seeking pleasure. So an example, this morning, I'm going to stop by Starbucks. I'm going to get a coffee, and you can see on the screen there can be that big pumpkin spice latte, which, gosh, it tastes great, right? So I could order that, and that would be pleasurable. I'd say, yes, I want that. That's pleasure. But here's the problem. It may be good for me, meaning it feels good, it tastes good, but it's not good for me long term. Versus making a peace decision that says, hey, you know what? I'm just going to get my Americano with room for cream, right? And that's maybe not the taste that's the best taste that I want this morning, but guess what? Long term, it's better for me. And that gives me peace because it feels good. Or, for example, getting up at 5 a.m., maybe I don't feel like it. I'm tired this morning. And so pleasure would be to stay in bed. But the problem is pleasure is short term and ends up not being good for you, versus peace means I get up even though I don't feel like getting up, and then once I'm up, I'm like, I'm so glad I got up because it's so much better for me. So I want you to think about, in your world on any given day, how many of you are you choosing pleasure versus how many of you are choosing peace decisions? And remember, peace is something that maybe you don't feel like doing, but it's good for you, versus pleasure, which is it feels really good right now, but long term it's not good for me, right? Those are some things to think about. And think about how you can create more peace in the world. All right, everybody. Hey, be awesome and help somebody. Make it a great day.